What's up, Resolute Reference family? It's Prince Ngozi here, and welcome back to another powerful conversation designed to ignite your faith, sharpen your purpose, and propel you forward. We've been an incredible journey together, haven't we? We started by understanding the power of your inner cycle, then move to cultivating the resolute focus, embracing the audacity of action, and most recently, diving deep into the resilience required to sustain your momentum in the long game. Today, we are going to talk about something profound, personal, yet universally powerful. The power of testimony. Sharing your testimony to spark change. This episode is for anyone who has walked through fire and come out refined. For anyone who have faced a giant and seen it fall. For anyone who have a story of God's faithfulness, but perhaps haven't fully grasped the transformative power that story holds. Not just for you, but for everyone around you. Your testimony isn't just a memory, it's a weapon, it's a beacon, it's a blueprint for someone else breakthrough. And today we are going to unpack how to wield it with purpose and power. I remember a time early in my entrepreneurial journey when I felt like I had to present this image of unwaveringly strength and constant success. Coming from Nigeria, where there's certain expectation of always being on top, always hustling. It was ingrained in me to only show the win, to never let them see your sweet and your the sweats that goes on in your life and the struggles that goes on in your life. But behind the scene, there were moments of profound doubt, moments where deals fell through, where investment didn't pan out, where I questioned if it was truly God's voice or I'm just chasing my own ambition. I kept this struggle hidden, thinking that sharing them would somehow diminish my credibility or worsen my faith. It was during one particular challenging period after a significant setback that I felt a profound prompting. It wasn't a boom voice from the heavens, but a gentle, persistent whisper in my spirit. Prince, your vulnerability is your strength. Your scar are your story, and your story is not just for you. I wrestled with it. It felt counterintuitive. Why would I expose my weakness when I was trying to build a brand of strength? But the conviction grew so strongly. I shared a piece of my struggle with a small group of mentees. I talked about the fear, the disappointment, the moments I wanted to quit. And what happened next was truly remarkable. Instead of judgment, I received an outpouring of empathy and shared experience. People started opening up about their own hidden battles. The room transformed from a lecture hall into a sanctuary. My vulnerability didn't weaken my leadership. It deepened my connection. It didn't diminish my faith. It amplified the truth that God is faithful even when we stumble. That day, I understand the profound truth. Your testimony is not about your perfection. It is about God's perfection working through you, your imperfection. It's about the journey, the struggle, and the ultimate triumph that only He can orchestrate. The Bible is full of testimonies. It's not just a collection of rules. It is a narrative of God's interaction with humanity. It is filled with raw, unrefined story of triumph and failure without faith and doubt. Think about David. His testimony isn't just about slaying Goliath. It is about being a shepherd boy overlooked by his family, chosen by God, and then endured years of persecution from Saul. It is about his moral failure, his reputation, and God's unwavering love and restoration. His Psalms are a testimony to a man who poured out his heart. He feared and he praised, and in doing so, gave voice to generation of believers. Or consider the woman with the issue of blood in Mark chapter 5. Her testimony wasn't just that she was healed, it was the 20 years of suffering, the financial ruin, the societal isolation, the desperate, the act of reaching out to touch the hem of Jesus' garment. Her story, her testimony wasn't just a personal miracle. It was a public declaration of hope for everyone who felt unseen, unheard, and incurable. This Bible figure didn't hide the struggle. They didn't sanitize the stories. They let them bare, and in doing so, they become vessels of God's power and grace. These testimonies continues to spark faith and change lives thousands of years later. So if you're sitting there thinking, my story isn't that dramatic, or who would want to hear about my struggles, I want to challenge that though every single journey, every single encounter with God's faithfulness, no matter how small it seems, is a powerful testimony waiting to be unleashed. So how do we effectively share our testimony? How do we move from simple having a story to strategically using it to spark change in others? I want to give you 3 practical pillars for harnessing the power of your testimony. Pillar number 1, identify your defined moments. Your life is a series of moments, but some stands out. There are the pivot points, the valley, the mountainous top, the moment where God's hand was undeniably present. Take some time, perhaps after this episode, to reflect. What are the key experiences where you saw God move? Where did you face a challenge that seems unsurmountable? And how did you overcome it? Where did you make a mistake, and how did God restore you? Don't just think about the big dramatic event. Sometimes the most relatable testimonies are found in the everyday faithfulness of God. It could be a financial breakthrough, a healing, a restoration of relationship, or simple the peace that sustains you through a difficult season. Write these moments down. Outline the moment before and during the struggle, and then after the breakthrough or lessons learned. This isn't about crafting a perfect narrative. It is about identifying the raw material of God's work in your life. Let's move to pillar number 2, articulate God factor. This is crucial. Your testimony isn't just about what happened to you. It's about who brought you through it. It's about the God factor in every defined moment you identify. Ask yourself, how did God intervene? What did I learn about his character? How did the experience deepen my faith or understanding of his purpose for my life? Your story becomes a testimony when it points beyond yourself to the faithfulness of God. It's not look at what I did, but look at what God did through me, in spite of me or for me. This shifts the focus from your self-glorification to God glorification. And that's where the true power lies. When you articulate the God factor, you're not just sharing sharing evidence of the living and active God. 3, share with purpose and sensitivity. Sharing your testimony isn't about broadcasting every detail of your life to everyone. It's about discerning who needs to hear what part of your story and when. Be sensitive to the Holy Spirit leading. Sometimes a full-blown testimony is appropriate for a church service or a broadcast. Other times, a quiet one-on-one conversation over coffee is exactly what is needed. Your purpose is sharing, always being encouraged, to inspire faith, and to point others to Christ. It's not to gain sympathy or attention. Or remember, not every details needed to be shared. You can protect your privacy while still being authentic. Focus on the message, the lesson, the God factor. Your story is a gift. Use it wisely to build, to heal, and to set captives free. Resolute Reference family, your story is powerful. It is unique. It is a testimony to God who sees you, who walks with you, and who brings you through. Don't ever underestimate the impact of your journey. Someone somewhere is waiting to hear how you overcome. They are waiting to hear how God showed up for you. Your testimony is living proof that faith works, that purpose prevails, and that resilience leads to triumph. So I challenge you today, embrace the power of your testimony. Identify those define moments. Articulate the God factor in your life. And then with purpose and sensitivity, share your story. Watch how it sparks change, ignite hope, and liberate others to step into their own God-given destinies. Remember, you are resolute in your purpose, deep in your reverence. You have a story that needs to be told. Don't keep it to yourself. I am Prince Ngozi, and this is Resolute Reference. Until next time, faith, purpose, forward.